What's up, YouTube? It's me, the artisanmc. It is Sunday and 11:12, and this is Shop Talk Live. Thank you guys for coming through today. If you can hear me clearly, if you can hear me clearly, give me a 1 in the chat so I can make sure the audio is working good. I am visiting my mother today, so I'm at her house on her Wi-Fi, so I'm making sure everything is working correctly before I get started. Good. I see some ones. Thank you, Studio. Thank you, Malika. Thank you, Joe Herr. Appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe. Support the stream if you feel so inclined. Click the bell when you subscribe, because I go random during the week. But this show is the one show I always do every Sunday at 11. I may think about changing the time of the show. I'm thinking of some things to do to change things up, but I need the actual audience to grow, and I understand I have to try to jump out of the box that I am in to get that audience to grow. So I will be doing things to move differently. Let's see who we got in here. Obviously, we got the Malika Me Bang. Appreciate you, my cinephilic brother, coming through. We will be talking about Reacher today because I did watch the season finale of Reacher, which I did like. So we can get into that. Shout out to the No One in there, the package man. Might be out there working today, so what's up to the package man? And shout out to Joe Herb. Said, what's up? What's up, Herb? Herbert Stay all day. UYP Studios. It was good, Artisan. It was good, Studio. Appreciate you coming through. All right, and on the Cash App side, I see Joe Herb has donated to the chat. Appreciate you, Herb. One of my strongest supporters. I do appreciate that. People who hold strong and don't falter. So I will give you double up. Appreciate you, Herb.
Money for the crowd, double lag. Fat, double lag. 100 on the sack, double that. Block like a ghost town, still double back.
I am looking for 15 contributors today, but I will be doing a shorter show today. So, because I'm at my mom's and I want to spend a little bit more time with her. She's in there making me one of her favorite breakfasts that I love, chorizo and egg with grits. I'm going to fuck that up. I am really going to mess that up. So want to spend some more time with her. I had a good time so far this weekend. And visiting with my son. And, well, not my son, but his girl, my grandbaby, their child in a new place. So that was awesome. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But like I said, he didn't see it yet. I guess I'm the only one watching this stuff. All right. Well, I have the conversation without you. That's probably why I do the stream, I guess. So with that, let's get on and go. And so we got some ninjas in the building. Shout out to the Ninja Squad, the Foot Clan. If you're a ninja, you can still hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. Or hit the down button. It also helps the algorithm. Either way, make a choice. Make a decision. So, first little bit of business I have today is I'm going to get to the geek stuff first, just to get that out the way. And the first bit of geek stuff is still on this Dave Chappelle commentary. I haven't listened to anybody yesterday because I was visiting with my son's family. I didn't listen to anybody else yesterday talking about that Dave Chappelle stuff, but me and my mother had a little brief conversation about it when we got here, and it may not be surprising, but she listens with the same set of ears I do, and the same kind of mind that I do, where she wants to hear the whole thing, not pieces of it, but she wants to hear the whole thing and be able to ask questions about what is being said before it's thrown out there as a determination on what it was all about and everything else. So we had a little bit of a conversation about it. And sorry, somebody is texting me. Okay. Okay. Texting me, of course. Now, right when I'm live, get back to them. But the main thing I saw from this is that I don't think, excuse me, Dave Chappelle being such a fan and supporter of comedy and black comics in general, he would not be the one out there trying to hate on anybody. I don't think that at all. I think what he was saying was from a holistic view of the overall betterment of comedy and black comedians and how it helps them, rather than how it tears individuals of them down. But he did support what Cat Williams had to say because it was experience. His only question about it was he was not sharing his own experiences. He was sharing other people's business. And the one thing that keeps coming to mind for me, even though I support what Cat Williams said too, it does beg the question. That's something that E40 said a while ago from the Bay. He said all of a sudden Snitcher became cool. You handle that shit behind the scenes. I do support him saying it, but also know usually you handle that shit behind the scenes. But since the motherfuckers called your name out and want to, shit on your name, they had it coming. They had it coming. So if you've been storing up ammunition and keeping your powder dry for that day they want to, start feeling froggy and want to jump and have your name croaking out their mouth, then give them the shenanigans. They get it. They get what they get after that. They can be mad all day after that. So what? Shouldn't have said anything about me. Should have left it alone. But if you don't want that kind of smoke, shut your fucking mouth. Don't start puffing it. Don't light it up. It don't have to be a problem. Shout out to no one for supporting the stream. You know how the brother does it. So I will give you the 3B salute. Appreciate you. This takes too long. And now it's not resetting. Technology, dude. Technology. Shout out to no one again for the double up. So I will give you the guts and butts. Appreciate you, Miller.
Double up. 3 or 4 times. I ain't telling no lies. Run it up. Never let a hard time on the was.
All right. That's up the way. I feel bad if I forget to do those, which is why I don't try to forget. I don't forget. So for me, I don't think Dave was talking bad about Cat Williams. He was making light of the situation, which can, given the person that's receiving the message, take it badly or good, take it in the spirit that it's given, which is just comedy about it. Or they can get all offended and be mad. I think Dave and Cat are bigger than that. So, and since they are what we consider great comedians, I don't think they would be that damn petty. I don't. So, drop the link if you want to talk. Who are you, MC Nemesis on X? I'm doing the show. Why should I want to talk with you? riddle me that, because I'm not on X, so I don't know how you found me on X, since it says you're coming from YouTube. Anyway, moving on with the show. So I think it was constructive criticism more than it was just hate on Cat or anything like that. I'm sure those brothers will talk behind the scenes, and both of them have dealt with their fair share of internet bullshit where they understand what it is when they see it. Of somebody running with something and trying to make fan a fire that it's not even a flame. So with that said, I will move on from that because I'm done with it. I don't feel the need to talk about it any more than that unless something else comes out to where they start going back and forth, which Dave Chappelle already said he doesn't do and he won't do. So what's the point of that shit? It ain't helping comedy. It would just serve in a sense to try to divide comedy. What up, Artie M. Moore, the dope boy in the building? Somebody I do like to see. What's good with you, homie? It's almost February 1st, man. It's almost time for that Gungrave statue. It's almost time. They're still trying to take pre-orders for that, but I don't like their pre-order system. I really don't. They trying to make you pay for the whole fucking thing up front. And I'm like, you ain't said it's coming out yet. I might as well wait till the 1st. Because if you're not gonna do a portion or deposit, you trying to get the whole amount, fuck you. You're gonna have to show up with the product first. Let me know it's something that's actually available. No, not doing that like that. Yep. So February 1st is coming. February 1st is coming. It's still on my watch list on Amazon. So yeah, I'm still not thinking about it. I'm just debating on when I pull the trigger on a Gungrave statue. And I was already, if JT's not in here yet, but me and JT were talking last weekend, and we were talking about the shells. And I did find some shells on Amazon that I'm going to order so I can put those statues up. That's why you guys haven't seen the unboxing video for the statues, because I'm ordering that shelf first so I can put those statues on it. And it's pretty cool. I just want to make sure it's the right height. The shelves are the right height so I can put them on there. Otherwise, I have to get a fucking bookcase or some shit, which I don't want to do. I'm liking the minimalist look in the Casa de Artisan. But if something's going to be there, it has to serve a function and not take up a lot of space. I'm liking openness. I like things being open. You might put it on your card. That's why you got charge cards. I wouldn't. Yeah. Don't. But more power to you. Good to see you in here. What's up, Rainfire? Salute to the Rainfire. Peace with you. So that's it on that Dave Chappelle BS. I think it's silly trying to make it into something. I think it was constructive criticism, not an actual criticism in a negative way. But people take shit how they want to. It's like a $2 hoe. So I'm not gonna worry about it. All to other shit. I saw there was a report out there, at least on the Star Wars front, that director, Chadri Ube Chinoy, whatever her name was, that she got fired, and that Rey movie is canceled. Beyond, in addition to that Rey movie being canceled or just put out to pasture, that the director was fired. And I could say that was a good move. Why was it a good move? Because to me, it's a good move because it shows that these companies are actually paying attention to the people that they have working for them right now. And all the bad press that they bring on to themselves and the projects that they are working on, which is not good for anybody. You just came out of a year of colossal, absolutely monumental, record breaking historical failures from doing exactly what that director did, from doing exactly that. Shitting on the fan base and talking crap to the very people you want money from. That is not a winning strategy to make any money on this movie. It is a winning strategy to lose hundreds of millions of dollars on this shit. It is a winning strategy for that. So my question is, why the hell would you keep letting people do this to your IPs? If you want to make money off of it, why would you keep having a mouthpiece out there crapping on the very people that you want to pay for this stuff? That is not smart business. It's not. But it is smart business to say, you know what, let's put this movie off to the side for a hot second, and you got to get out of here. Pay her out and get her out. Because we need these people to buy this product. We don't need them to stay away from it. Look, if you want to do a movie for, say, $300 million, say $300 million, are you willing to lose that $300 million that you spend on just the movie, not the advertising or anything like that, just the movie, based on somebody else that you paying maybe 20, 30 million to do a movie? Because they got a problem with the fan base? Are you willing to take that loss? Oh, no, absolutely not. It's cheaper to write you a check and get you the hell out of here than it is to take a $300 million loss on something we need to at least bring us some return. That is bad business altogether. So I don't feel bad that if she got fired, if it's true, she got fired, I don't feel bad about that shit, because to me, that's a smart business move. It may not make you feel emotionally good, but it ain't about emotions, is it? It's about business and making money. And what they produce needs to make money, not just make you feel good. You want something to get you to feel good? From what I understand, in California, there's a store called Good Vibrations. Go in there, go crazy. And then you can find something to make you feel good at home. You personally. But these movies and stuff like that, they need to make, like the general audience feel good and accepted and all that shit. Because that's the people who pay for it. That's the people that fund your lifestyle and your ability to go out and make stuff. Unless you want to go back to documentary filmmaking. Because that's not what Star Wars is. So you can go out and do your documentaries and make your propaganda pieces all day long, but that ain't what Star Wars is. And doing that kind of stuff is what's killing Star Wars. Death of 1,000 lightsabers. What Art got to say? Are you going to get the metal wall shelf where you can put wood planks on them? No. I'm more artsy than that. What I'm going to get is metal. It has a couple of wood shelves, but I'm hovering between the 15.5 inches and the 12.5 inches spacing between the shelves. Because a Vampire Hunter D statue is pretty tall, but I haven't taken it out again to measure it to see how tall it is. But that shelf is going to have to house mini bust and a couple of tall statues. My Blade statue, my Wesley Snipes Blade statue, and the Vampire Hunter D statue. If I get that Gungrave statue, it's going to go somewhere else on a lower shelf because it's pretty fucking big. It can't. I wouldn't want to put it on a tall shelf up high. It would have to have a lower shelf that it sits on by itself. Just like the Black Panther statue, the sideshow. My Chadwick statue. That one sits on its own table. That's it. If you go that route, make sure same distance in America. Okay. Thank you, Art. I mean, I'm a carpenter. I understand that shit, but thank you for trying to explain it to me. So yeah, good vibration. Now, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, well, it is what it is, man. It's the mood I'm in. Just doing things to make people feel good isn't always a good look. Example: Monsters Ball. Exactly. And there ain't no black man that watched that don't think them people was actually fucking. And if you see Hallie now, she is actually fucking crazy. So I would believe she was actually fucking. Look like that shit to me. Look like a closed set, camera rolling in a drunk time. So I don't know. It ain't a movie I recommend, but I did see it. I did see it. And to Rainfire's additional point, what if it makes somebody feel good to see everything burning? You gonna satisfy them too? You gonna pay them to do that shit too? I would ask Disney that shit, but apparently the answer is yes, because KK still has a job at Lucasfilms. And they still paying her. After these colossal failures. So apparently making her feel good is all right. It's apparently good for business, sarcastically speaking. But be that as it may, if this Ray movie never comes out, it will not hurt anybody's feelings except for maybe Daisy Ridley because she needs to work. In which case, I would tell Daisy to talk to John if he hangs around, because he's the only one who has a decent idea for bringing your character back and actually repair it so fans would actually like it. That's the only one. And I am not purposely not including Dave Filoni in that shit because he is bought and paid for at this point. So he can keep licking the dark side booty hole all he want to, just so he can keep Ahsoka alive. But that's you chose. You chose. So kiss that wrinkled, puckered ass and keep doing it. Head creative in charge of nothing. What up, Pragmatic P-Dubs in the building? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So, in other Star Wars news, I talked about this on the artisanmc about the push to have Jon Favreau come and do a Mandalorian 3-movie deal with Dave Filoni helping him. The more I hear that shit, the more I hear it, the more every time I hear it, you just saying it to myself sounds like a bad deal for Jon Favreau. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Just walk. Just walk. Look, as an artist, I understand if your characters get done really wrong and you don't like it, and how objectionable it can be to you, and how much you actually want to see that corrected, right? But at the same time, you have to understand, if you don't own that character, okay. If you know what you poured into that character came from you, you can do it again somewhere else. So don't worry about it. Let them do whatever the fuck they want to do with that shit. Leave it. Because I tell you this, there's another director, creator, writer, director, who pitched Lucasfilms an idea that they shit on and didn't want. And y'all can scream it out in the chat if you know who I'm talking about. He took it to somebody else, sold it to them, and they gave him the money to make what he wanted to make. And they're paying him for that shit. And you're going to get paid about 3 times off of that shit. 3 to 4 times. You know why? Because he will get his vision out. He found another route to get his vision out. Because they are not the only game in town, and they're not even the best ones, the best suited, and the best appreciative of artists or creators. Every time you hear that line creative, it's bullshit. You know what? And no one is in here, so he'll understand this. A young child finger painting is creative. But it's not a Van Gogh, is it? No, it's not. It can be creative, but they've had no training. Now, yeah, Herb Snyder. John Favreau, you are, just to remind you, allow me to reintroduce yourself to you. You are a creative person who has done directorial and movie work for a while before you got to this fucking sinkhole, this Sarlacc pit, which is Lucasfilms under KK. Okay? You're the dude who made Iron Man work for the MCU. 2 movies of gold. With an actor they didn't want, with an idea that kind of revolutionized how they shoot that shit. That helped launch that whole MCU shit on that one character y'all came up with. Yeah, it was Marvel's character, but how you directed it and how you and Robert worked together is what made that character the character. That was your creative idea. Getting that movie out there in that way was your creation. Yeah, you was working with Marvel. But we see what Marvel is without y'all directing. You know, you, James, Joss. We see what it is now. Even without the what the fuck is their names? The guys who did the Captain America stuff. Even those 2 dudes. Even without them, you see what Marvel is right now. The Russo brothers, excuse me. Russos. What is it right now? They can't produce a hit. They can't produce a mild hit. Can't. Cannot do it. And the more pieces you pull off that Lego Marvel character, the more you figure out it ain't nothing there. It's a bunch of dumbasses there that don't know how to do this. One of the things that I notice with this culture right now that's really gripping me around short and curlies is the disposability they think it is of people who know, people with experience, and older people. Now, here's the thing. You cannot get experience without getting older. The 2 things are locked. They're locked together. Because experience comes with time. The more you do something, the more you go through that creative process and learn from your mistakes, which Lucasfilms does not do, the more you gain experience to figure out what works. Once you have somebody there who has gone through all those failure processes to get to understanding what works, you don't push them out the door. You try to retain them to teach that next generation how to shorten that experience time, that experience gap. Because like burning the library in Alexandria, excuse me, A lot of knowledge is lost that way. And you have to start over from fucking scratch. All the advancements, all the technology, all the wisdom is now lost because you think just because somebody is old and male, they need to go somewhere. So all you young folks could just have this right now. Look, y'all can look at me and see one of two things. I'm not a female, I'm not yellow, and I'm not marching towards a cliff. I am not a goddamn lemming. So, because of that, and because of experience, I will not sit there and follow somebody who don't know and ain't been through what I've been through and don't have the experience that I do with what I do. I can't. You know why? You ain't earned that right. You have not earned it. You don't have the prerequisite knowledge, let alone the experience to fucking lead this. Wait your turn, and if you study hard, you might get it if you're the best choice. Because the best choice out of a room of dumbasses is still no choice at all. No one said your daughter. Yeah, I bet your daughter is a true Picasso over there. That's why I pointed that to you, because you understand. You would understand it right off the bat. Like, yeah, she's creative. But what grown person is running around calling themselves a creative? Somebody who can't create. What's more creative? The person who innovates something solo, or a room full of people who throw in a bunch of cobbled together ideas that they stole from other places to create this thing. What's creative? A self-insert or a ground-up made character? What's creative about a self-insert? I don't think much to me. Because a self-insert is just you. So that means all your flaws, all your foibles are also hoisted on that character. And if you personally are no one to aspire to be, then the character is also no one to aspire to be. So why the hell are we looking at this shit? Why don't you just jump your goofy ass in the movie and play yourself? So you will understand nobody likes that shit. And you don't have to keep pointing out everything else. It's because they male, it's because they misogynist, it's because it's this, it's because it's that. It's because it's you, okay? It's you. For real. So with that, understand, John. The Marvel house is a wreck because you original creative directors are no longer there. And the new crop behind you didn't learn anything. It doesn't really seem like they know anything. They've spent 20 years getting programmed with propaganda. That's all they regurgitate. And how to play with their genitals. And who's kissing who. That's not even a story, dude. That's a gossip session in the hallways in high school. So the same thing is true for Lucasfilms. Yeah, it's still under the Disney banner. But the same thing is true there. I think all the creative people left already. And you might as well cut your losses and leave too. Let them have that goddamn character. Go off somewhere else. Write your own script like you always do. Like you always do. Write your own script and shop it around. Your name is still pretty good in this town. You could probably get somebody else to make a movie. And if you feel that bad about it, why don't you go talk to your boy James? Maybe he'll let you have some creative license over some shit. Because make no mistake about it, the same way James Gunn got put in charge of Warner, Marvel should have put you in charge of the MCU. And since Lucasfilm is so butthurt to not do that with you over there, walk tall. Fuck them. Leave them to it. Because the way Disney is going to burn itself down. It ain't going to have no power to affect anybody's goddamn career. They're going to be too busy trying to resuscitate their own from all this massive weight of unbelievable failures that they keep heaping upon themselves, listening to the wrong damn people. But they're going to keep doing it because, to put a finer point on it, what hoe don't do what the trick pays them to do? And that comes from an investor level. You know, the one who's paying them the most is the one they bending over for, busting it wide open for. That's what's happening at the Magic Kingdom, yo. That's what your princess is doing. Busting it open for a real agenda. Other than servicing the paying customers. You are not the primary paying customer. Those investors that give them the money to do all this goofy shit is. And that's why they keep holding to them alphabet letters in their agendas. Because they got a baller in the house. And they all going to be out there on the pole doing exactly what the hell he want. Don't matter if the club burning down. So, like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. That is my spiel on the Star Wars stuff. Now, Reacher season finale, episode 8. What did no one say? The mouse is tripping being a bad pimp. He keep pushing out his bottom chicks for the youngs with no skills. Look, even a pimp hole situation, what is your bottom bitch's job? Your bottom bitch is the one that's supposed to train these young bitches coming in the door. Excuse me. Because she's the one with all the experience. She's the one who know. Oh, he ain't trying to give it to you, girl. Just stick your little finger in his bum hole and he'll bust real quick. You can get out of there and go about your business. You ain't got time to be doing that all day. You gotta get daddy money. Young chicks don't know shit like that. They don't know those tricks of the trade. That's what the bottom bitch is there for. To teach her the tricks of the trade. Because best believe the pimp ain't gonna tell her how to suck a dick. He only gives her the incentive to understand, look, I'm going to take care of all the rest of this, but you got to get out there and get this shit. How I do that, daddy? You're a woman, figure it out. Talk to your sisters. So it ain't necessarily the mouse. It's the one who holding the mouse tail. They give the mouse the money to go out there and do this dumb shit with these dumb young chicks. Excuse me. So, Reacher season finale. I really enjoyed this show. There were not a lot of low points in this show for me. It is definitely worth binging, but I will say I appreciated the format of it only coming out every week. Now, maybe that's because I'm a Gen Xer and my TV watching was always a week-to-week situation. It was never a daily or all-at-once thing. I appreciate that format because it gives me a little longer to sit with the material and then anticipate the new material to come. I'm a comic book reader. I don't have a problem waiting 30 damn days to get the next piece of this longer story. I have no problem with delayed gratification. I'm not a part of the microwave generation where everything needs to be this immediate or just spooged all in your face at one time. Look, I can't watch it all at one time. I got other shit to do. So, however it comes out, I'm going to be watching it probably week to week. And that's more fun. That's how you build up a fan base. That's how you build up the love of something. When people can let it sit with them so they can think about it a while and look forward to what's to come while they having reactions to what just happened at the same time. For me, I think that format works a lot better. It works a lot better for growing a brand. It's a little slower. It's a slower bubble. But like I said, I'm not part of the microwave generation. I'm the generation that learned how to cook, not hack. Just saying. So the finale has some satisfying moments in it that made me realize how much I appreciate the character of Reacher and how much I appreciate the character from the Terminal List and why I appreciate those characters. I heard something a couple weeks ago that a term referred to dad movies, right? And it's the type of characters that guys from the 80s and 90s liked. Action heroes like Schwarzenegger, John Rambo, those kind of characters that guys really liked. And now they want to have a term for it. It's called dad movies, like it's a pejorative term. Well, that's not pejorative. It was male characters being men. This is all it was. So in the Terminal List and Jack Reacher, these are men being men. Plain and simple. Yes, they were soldiers. Yes, they were. Were they terrible, bad soldiers that everybody in the military is crooked and all that? No, they weren't. One of the most traumatic, I wouldn't say traumatic, one of the most disappointing moments in this season of Reacher was a good man falling. A legitimately good man. That you didn't understand at first. He got on your nerves. He's like, this motherfucker an asshole. But he was a good dude. And he lost his life doing what good guys do. Going out there and fighting for those who couldn't fight for themselves. And he lost his life. And it was kind of traumatic for the show. Like, shit, damn, him? That's messed up. Because you saw what his heart was. You saw the kind of grit he had. Even standing up to a big jolly green giant, he was not backing the hell down about nothing. He was a legit stand-up dude. What up, Ray Hama? So characters like Reacher actually highlight that positive part of masculinity, which means you back your family and you go to bat for your family against everybody else. Now, I understand that whole family word gets turned into a joke nowadays because Vin Diesel has used it in his movies. But I don't see family as a comical, joking thing. I think it's actually an important lesson. Because I tell you guys often, there's two families that you have. The one you're born into and the one you make for yourself. And they are both important. And both of them require you to be that stand-up person. They do. Especially if they stand up for you. That's the important part. What up, Jack? Watching Reacher in this season and seeing him with the 110th Special Investigators, his crew, the family he made, was good. It was good. Even seeing them joking and laughing and ripping on each other a little bit, and not in that Marvel MCU snarky millennial kind of way, but just in the touchy feeling, I respect you, but man, what you doing? But really, what are you doing? That was cool to see. It was cool to see that character actually acknowledge that and say it out loud for himself of who these people were to him. Because I was talking about this with my mother last night about realizing that at a moment where Reacher acknowledges that the 110th is his family, you have to understand his brother is dead. I think his parents are dead. That motherfucker by himself in this world right now. He looked like he can handle pretty much anything, but psychologically and mentally, that actually means something to have people that will still go to bat for you. That will put people down for you on your behalf to protect you, not just for the hell of it. It's like, oh, they was talking shit. Let's go light them up. No. But on something serious. Hey, they killed our friends while they were trying to do good and stop this bad stuff from happening. Well, we're going to go take care of that. Because our friends, our family needs to be taken care of. What up, Andre? Appreciate you supporting the stream. I will give you the 3B salute. Appreciate you. Now, so Reacher acknowledging that the 110th is his family was good. Now, none of the other members of the team heard him say that. None of them heard him say that. But to see it was planted by one of the other people there, and he acknowledged it to a stranger to understand, for the audience to understand that he knew what the hell she was talking about. Now, the other part about this that I enjoyed, that finale, is that has been one of the more satisfying season finales that I've watched. And I just finished watching Echo before that. This season finale was satisfying in the sense that those criminals got it. The terrorist dude, oh, he got it. He got lit the fuck up. He got lit up. Look. There's a scene from an old movie from the 90s, starring Lawrence Fishburne and Christopher Walken, called King of New York. And Lawrence Fishburne's character goes to do a drug deal with this dude. And he opens up that case, and it ain't money in that case. It's all tampons. And he's like, what is this? He says, for the bullet holes, puta. And they light his ass up. That's the same way that terrorist, AM, in Reacher Season 2 looked. That's the same thing they gave his ass. They should have dropped off some, because they lit his ass up, and he deserved it, because this dude had killed all the way across the country random people for little or no reason at all. Little or no reason at all. That was satisfying to see him get lit up. It was. He was a terrorist anyway. Fuck him. Right? Look, he killed a doctor because he kind of looked like him, to steal his identity. Killed his receptionist just because. Unrepentant. So when he was sitting there groveling, hey, I'm just a money man. Just shut up. I want to hear that shit. Not after 8 episodes. Oh, no. No, fuck you. You got to go. You have got to go. What's good, Aquatech? Number one wrench is in the building. Wrecking crew has assembled. You should watch the show. You should watch the show. The show is good. I haven't read any of the books. My first introduction to this character was through the movie, the Tom Cruise movie. From that movie, I watched the second movie, and then I watched the TV show, all done by Skydance, which means Tom Cruise still gets paid off all that shit. It's still a good show. It's still a good show. It's a good character that makes me want to read his books. Because I always want to go back to the source material, and that means if the show is good, the book's got to be better. The books have to be better than the show. So I look forward to reading those. I do have a lot on my list, so that's why I haven't picked them all up yet. But yeah, those are two characters that I need to go back to. Terminal List and Jack Reacher books. I need to read some more of those. Or read some, period. Yeah, Tom Clancy don't play. Tom Clancy does not play. Not on his military and special ops folks. He don't play. He do them a lot of respect. Which I think if you live in this country should be like kind of standard. Just saying, look, why BMT rolling in here? What's up? Thank you for your service. What's good, Trigger Man? I said, be hearing nothing but military references in that show. They did a good with some of their military talk. Yeah, the consultants are pretty good, as far as I know. Right? I told y'all before, I was never in the military. I just come from a family that was military. So there's some shit I know. There's some shit I cannot speak to because I have not experienced it personally. I regret it, but I have not experienced it personally. So appreciate you showing up, BMT. And yes, salute to your service. The other thing I liked in this, outside of the terrorists getting it, I did think that the main villain in this, Robert Patrick's character of Langston, he got off light. He got off a little light. He got off a little light to me. Because at most, because he did so much, he tried to have them killed so many times, he should have at least got his legs broke first. He should have. Because if you haven't watched the season, this is not a spoiler, I'll just tell you this. Langston, Robert Patrick's character, had some of Reacher's friends killed. Some of the members of the 110th were investigating him and his company. And Langston had them killed. But he didn't just have them killed. He had them tortured, their legs broken by him with a huge metal wrench, had them hanging, broke their damn legs, put them on a gurney, flew them up in the helicopter, and dropped their ass out. Free fall to the ground in the middle of the forest. You need to get that same shit in return. I need you to get that same shit in return, times 2. So when you hit the ground or when you flying through the air with the greatest of ease, you look like a freaking rag doll. No, he got it a little bit too light for me. He got it a little bit too light. And at the end, he was begging. Fuck you. No, no. He should have got a little bit worse. Because by that rationale, while it was similar to what he did to Reacher's friends, it was not a multiplier, which it should have been. In that sense, the terrorists got it worse. Because he saw it coming and was begging. So he should have got a little more than what he did. Sorry. Apologies. Yeah, Aquateki, eye for an eye. Look, man. I told my son when he was younger and started getting into fights, you make him pay twice as much. A fight is going to be painful, but it's going to go to who can take the most. So anything you get, you dish out twofold. See if they want to stop. Somebody gonna quit, and it's not gonna be me. So that's what I think he should have got. He should have at least got his legs broke. He at least should have got his legs broken, because Reacher and his team had did the autopsies, or not did the autopsies, looked at the autopsy photos and figured out what had happened to these guys. Legs broken before a fall from a height with no parachute. No, fuck him. He needed to get a lot more. He could have got drug outside the helicopter, far as I was concerned. No. Nope. And the other part that I liked about it, he did get it, but he didn't get it as bad as I thought he should have. The other part that I liked about it is these other standby jellyback dudes that was just, I was just doing my job. I was just doing my part. The helicopter pilot and the engineer that was going to put these chips in these SAM rockets. Oh, yeah, they got it too. You know why? Because that's your price for not having a backbone, you silly bastard. I was pissed when the helicopter pilot said, I didn't have anything to do with it, man. I just flew the helicopter. Oh, so you just flew the helicopter that had my friends thrown out the back of it? Really? You did? Yeah. Why don't you go? Yeah, just walk away. Just walk away. No fucking way in hell, dude. You knew they was throwing people out the back of the helicopter, didn't you? You didn't bother telling anybody? Fuck you too. You went in for a penny, in for a pound. You can get the same shit these dudes get. And they did. Out there barbecuing their nuts right now. Both of them. Even the little weasel ass engineer. Appreciate you, Aquateki. I will give you the guts and butts. Appreciate you.
Number one, 3 or 4 times I ain't telling no lies. Run it up. Never let a hard time on the
Yeah, you can get it too. You get the same shit that they get. Yeah, you're gonna finish Jack Ryan and go to Reacher. I haven't watched Jack Ryan yet, but I've been meaning to watch that show because I do like the Jack Ryan character as well. But yeah, Reacher had me going from season 1. As soon as season 2 dropped, I was on that shit, and I was anticipating and giddy, waiting for it every week when it was coming on. Every week I was looking forward to that shit, and every week I was not disappointed. And that rarely happens, especially when you're watching a lot of series and shows and stuff like that. That rarely happens. Especially if I sat through Star Wars last year. You saw how I was painfully going through fucking Ahsoka. I was not impressed. Every fucking week, I was disappointed all over again, and more irritated and more irritated and more irritated the longer it went on. Dave Filoni gave me eight episodes of bullshit. Jack Reacher gave me 8 episodes of thank you, some man shit. They hurt our friends. They killed our friends. But you know what? They can get the same shit my friends got. That shit was forfeit. They must have thought we was not gonna stand up against that shit. They thought we was gonna lay down for that. Fuck around, you'll find out. So I can't say enough about it, and I won't spoil the ending, but it did have a satisfying ending, which was perfect and in character for the character. It was. But it was some real strong stuff that was done for those characters in the 1/10. It was. So I really would support a spinoff show with the 1/10th. If you weren't going to get us a Reacher, if you were not going to get a Reacher season 3, I would support a spinoff show with the 1/10th special investigators. I would. Maybe some of their early days. Maybe that. Some of those other cases that they worked on. Because trust me, my mother almost got me sucked into this Australian show on Hulu yesterday, Horror. And he is Forensic Corner, The Corner. And I like mysteries. I like figuring out things. I don't have that weak kind of brain that don't like figuring out shit. Everything has to be spoon-fed and simple for me. Spelled out in bold print. No, not everything. Some things I like to figure out. Horror, Horrow, is starring Ian Graffood, who just had a birthday yesterday. If you don't know who Ian Graffood is, watch the Titanic or watch the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies. He's Mr. Fantastic, or he was Mr. Fantastic in those movies. But for me, what I saw in the show, it looks like a cross between a little splash of Dexter and a lot of Quincy, if y'all remember that old show. So I like Ian Graffood. I will check out the show because my mother recommended it and she was hooked on it. So I'll check it out along with the other show that she told me about on Hulu. I told her my new plan is that I got to do a different streaming service every week. So last week was Netflix. I almost finished everything on Netflix, so I still got Blue Eye Samurai to try to finish. But next week, I think I'll go on Hulu because these are series, so I have to actually try to watch them day after day to get through them. And I can't decide up front if it's something worth doing episodic or not. It's usually going to depend on how many episodes it is. Usually going to depend on that. Andre said he didn't watch Quincy, but I watched Dexter. That makes sense, Andre, because Quincy is old. Quincy is from like the 80s. You probably weren't even born. But Dexter was recent. It was. Yeah, see, Aquateki, no, that's a throwback show. This is how I hit all these demographics. That's what Gen Xers do, man. We the bridge, the old and the new. We stand in that bitch. Like the flayed man. Yeah, early 80s. Quincy was my shit. Love Quincy. So when I was watching a little bit of this show, trying to figure out how this kid on the spectrum all of a sudden sucked down all this chloride gas when he was a pool boy, and who was taking his damn money, I was into it like, nah, it's this manager, nigga. It's him. It's the manager. Where he at? Y'all let him get away? What y'all doing? What is y'all doing? What's going on with his son? I think he killed somebody. Did he just broke into a police laptop? The fuck is this boy up to? He about to get everybody in some shit. So, yeah, that's the show. So I'm gonna check that one out next too, because I got to put that on my queue on Hulu. So I'll probably be checking out Hulu shows next week. I had to wait 2 days before I watch anything else after finish Attack on Titan. Congrats. But Attack on Titan is never finished. My older cousin keeps trying to get me to watch Sherlock Holmes. Watch Sherlock. Watch BBC Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. You'll love that shit. Because it's smart. It's smart. The American Sherlock shows. And BBC, though, the Sherlock show, good as fuck. Good as hell. There is a YouTuber. She's done a recent review of the series because she went through the whole series, and it's I like her channel. She does really good reviews. She has good reactions. And Callie, Natalie Gold. Watch her reactions to that stuff because she goes through the whole season. She goes through the whole season, every season of that show, and gives her reactions while it's going on. It's a good show. It's a good show. Very good show. Very smart, very clever. What Doctor Who used to be. So it's worth a watch if you like that kind of stuff. Now, to the last parts of this. I forgot my book at home, y'all. So there's some stuff that I wanted to mention that I didn't mention. I'm just pulling it up from my memory file. Excuse me. Fucking hot chocolate making me burp. There's something else. There's one other thing. I'm missing what it is. Oh, the Book of Clarence. That's what it was. The Book of Clarence. I did go and see the Book of Clarence last week, and it was entertaining. It was entertaining in a way that I was not expecting, with some actors I was not expecting to be in it. Now, I would say this. I grew up for a time in a Christian household, raised with my cousins. My cousin Dale, who come through here, that was in the household with him. And that was a military Christian family. And that was a place where I really got into carpentry because their father was a Marine and a carpenter. Now, watching religious-based movies has never been an issue for me because I look at all religions like they all saw one event and they all have their different versions of how they recount that story. So I don't look at any other religion as they're the heretics and I got the truth. I don't look at it like that. I look at it as all of you got your own story. And I can listen to any of your stories because I'm not bound by loyalty to just one. My loyalty is to the truth. And if the truth is this helps people live a better life for themselves, well, more power to you. If it's going to teach you how to be decent to people, to try to look at something bigger than yourself as being important, fine. But understand, it's not a shield and a sword for everybody else. You are not protected in no kind of way from doing fuck shit. Now, because I look at religions holistically and not like this is my camp and all of y'all are dumb, I can go into a Christian movie and watch a movie about Christ, Jesus, whatever, and not be, oh, it's just damaging the book. Oh, motherfucker. Like, for real. Grow up. Grow up. I don't even think I have it anymore. Do I still have it on there? Yes, I do.
Grow up! Grow up! Grow up!
Seriously. So I went into this movie, and trust, I was forgetting what movie I was going to see because I went to see it with my friend, the professor, right? Because she was treating me to this movie. So we went to the movie, and I'm forgetting that it's a religious movie. So all these black folks is in there looking at me strange because I'm in there with this woman. I'm like, the fuck you looking at? Where do you live? I'm sitting down watching this damn movie. Now, what I liked about the movie was that it was a religious movie, but it didn't take itself so serious that it could not have fun in the movie. And because it's mixed with a contemporary language and stuff like that, it made it a little bit more entertaining in and of itself. Because it's not just a crucifixion story. Yes, it leads up to a crucifixion, and that's where the movie takes a turn where you say this is actually serious. But all the first two thirds of that movie is kind of lighthearted and stuff you can relate to. I mean, there was one scene in the movie where I'm laughing in the movie because he goes to what ends up being goes to this place to see the girl. Dude he owes money to, he's in love with his sister, right? And he goes in there to hang out with the sister, and they in there grooving and stuff like that. It's like it's a club. They in the club. These niggas in the club. Now it'll seem funny because they broke out and started doing the electric slide and stuff like that, but it's not any more ridiculous than them dancing and singing in the Marvels to me. It's not. It's just a departure. It's just something that out of the norm that happened. It's like, okay, that can be mildly entertaining, and then it got back to the regular gist of this is how a movie goes. I like those little departures at times because it breaks up the monotony. It's like this is the plodding along. Okay, this is where such and such happens. This is where they fall in love. This is where it gets broken up. This is where the brother comes in and stops all this from happening. This is where the struggle. Dude. I like movies that I cannot guess the ending or guess what's happening next. If I can guess what's happening next, I'm probably not even interested in watching the shit. Not at all. Like I said, I like figuring things out. I don't like shit spoon fed. No. So seeing stuff like that made the movie more fun. And seeing some of the characters in there that I recognize from other periods in time or history was also more fun. Because there's a character in there called Barbarous, right? It was a big black dude. I can't remember his name, right? But as soon as you see his face, you'll know him from other stuff. He's talking about how he is immortal. He can't be killed. And he only has one weakness. And where's his weakness? In his fucking ankle. And I'm like, that's where they took Achilles from. That's genius. Thrown into this movie with a bunch of black people all around this time about this Jesus character, right? Now, the funny part is Jesus is in that shit. Jesus of Nazareth is in that shit. You know what? He ain't a white dude. He a brother with really hypnotic freaking eyes. Like that must have been the casting for that role. He had to have these big eyes that you feel like you just fall into. Oh, here we fucking go. This bitch. I don't know what that's about. I love people who think I'm stupid and want to try to explain fucking words to me like I'm about to go off on somebody. I'm really about to go off on somebody. I hate people explaining shit to me like I'm the dumbest person in the fucking room when I am not. Now you're going to explain my shit to me and you don't even know it. Dumb fucks. Dumb fucks. Let me stop looking at that shit because it's about to derail me into some anger management. Jay-Z out, the movie out. Jay-Z out, the movie out, not TD Jakes. What do you expect? But yes, there are plenty of religious hit pieces on the movie. Is there? Wow. I didn't even know about that. I don't know about any other kerfluffle about Book of Clarence. I don't. I just went and saw the movie. I wasn't listening to fucking haters and critics. I just went and saw the movie because I thought it looked interesting and I wanted to see it. Plain and simple. So I don't know who got an issue with it. And what the hell do I care about T.D. Jakes? I ain't part of his church. So what the fuck do I care what he got to say? You better talk to them parishioners in the pews. That ain't me. Your word don't sway shit that I do. EL15, what the hell does that mean? What up, Toya? BTM in the building. Never have been. You never have been what? I can think of a few things, but I don't know what you're talking about. Did you ever get to see the movies I sent you? I don't see any movies that you sent me, BMT. Kerfluffle is a great word. Right. If somebody just sent me a fucking Google screenshot definition of the word dialect because they use it like I don't understand what the fuck dialect is, and I'm the black person in the room. You're trying to get cussed the fuck out. For real. Funny, Aquatechy. Explain like I'm a 5-year-old. I didn't get that one. Denzel Washington. One of my favorite Denzel quotes, and I didn't catch that. Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Pelican Brief. A couple of movies he put that shit into. That's a good quote. Yeah. I'm not 5. And chances are, most people, when I have an intellectual conversation offline, without all the curse words and shit like that, most people can't keep up with that shit. They just nod their head because the words I use are not words that they understand. And they don't really understand it coming from me. Oh, this nigga was stupid. I've told you many times I am not. What? What satanic message was in that? God damn it. Don't make me look this shit up. I haven't even done a review of Book of Clarence yet. I have not had time to sit down and do a review of Book of Clarence yet. Because when I came for the movie, it was late. And I went right to bed and went right into work the next morning. I wasn't even sure if y'all be interested in the shit. Because it was religious based. I know how people get in their fucking feelings about it. They can't just have a discussion about a religious movie without turning it into we need to be hating and have a whole fight with each other about it. Like, that's so stupid. One of my favorite classes and worst experiences I had in class in college was having my comparative religions class, where you just go over all the religions, which was the oldest, from the oldest to the youngest, and compare that shit. That shit was vastly more interesting than any other classes. And I'm a psych major. The religion was more interesting. You know why? Because some people in the class could not have the conversation because they were so fucking wed to their religion, they couldn't even discuss another one. They couldn't even discuss the failings of their own shit. And I'm like, that is lunacy. That is lunacy. You can't get a basketball player to not understand if you're saying, hey, you guys are fucking up at this part. What's wrong with your people at the low post position? What's up with that? He ain't gonna say, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't have no positions at the low post, nigga. He ain't gonna say that shit. He's like, well, he'll tell you, like, well, you know, we're not moving the ball like we should. You know, so I ain't posting up like you should. You're gonna work on that in practice. Yeah, you're gonna get cussed the fuck out in practice. The whole team gonna be looking at you like, thinking, do your job. No, these motherfuckers couldn't even have a conversation about the religion that they supposedly a part of because they don't know all of the shit. And they want to hold up the whole class for doing this compare. Oh, you can't tell. That's such and such. That's such and such. Man, I don't believe what you believe. It ain't none of that shit to me. Let's have this conversation. Let's get it going. Shut the fuck up. Take your feelings out of here. Because this is called comparative religion. You get that, right? We are comparing them. Their origins, how they started, who started them, and they practitioners. That should be easy to do on planet Earth, since there are many fucking religions. So somebody wanting to jump and say that's satanic, say, I don't believe in your God. So why should I be bound by your rules? Fuck you. I ain't saying shit satanic in it. And trust me, I was raised in a Christian household, going to a Christian Bible thumping from Tennessee church, been in the Catholic church, been in the Muslim mosque. Dude, I got more experience with religions than you would actually want to believe. And that's why I don't sit there and subscribe to anyone if they're not about being decent to people and being decent in your fucking self. And being decent to people ain't, you can't say that because that makes me feel some kind of way. You need to shut up or grow some thicker skin. Yeah, Aquatechy, look, man. I went to Catholic church. I went to Catholic school. It's one of the most confusing things you would ever see. If you were sitting across from me at a dinner table, I pray Catholic. I follow Christian doctrines. Crazy as shit. But I remember all that Catholic shit. Why? Yeah, I could watch a movie about the Holy Stigmata and all the rest of that shit. Yeah, understand their version of what was happening in the Bible and who their pantheon is or who it ain't. Yeah, I can get that. Just like I can do it with Christianity. Judaism. Dude, it's just religion. It's all information to be studied and understood. And the better you understand it, the better you understand the world around you and what's motivating and animating some of these silly motherfuckers. I'm not in that camp where just because I side on one thing, I close my ears to everything else. That's a lemming, dude. That is a dumbass. That's a useful idiot. Especially when you know that preachers and priests and stuff like that will all talk to each other. Stupid asses. You the only ones down here fighting about the shit. So no, I didn't see any satanic messages in this movie. And I'm surprised somebody would say that shit in the same, well, it's not the same year, but around the same time frame as Exorcist True Believer came out, which is legit satanic messages. Or you got Echo endorsing patricide, but you ain't saying nothing about no satanic messages and that shit. Shut the hell up. It's your bullshit, weak ass arguments. Stupid shit. They were sent in an email, homie. School for Crows 1 through 2. Yakuza Delinquent Battlefield. Okay, I will check again, BMT. I will check again. I thought you had my text. You have to shoot me a text when you put some shit like that in my email. I get a lot of email through there, a lot of sales stuff, so some shit I have to go through to look at. He said our homeboy played Peter the Rock. I don't understand what that means, studio. I'm missing the reference right now. Baptized Catholic. There's a certain level of knowledge and humanity to be willing to understand each other, and being around Islamic, Buddhists, and other Eastern cultures on my journey who are always appreciated and humble. Yes, Buddhism is one of those things like Ex-wife is Thai. You guys know that. She gets into her Buddhism shit, right? I studied a little bit of Buddhism. Why? Because it's interesting. I'm not one of these people who walking around with a big head and don't want to fill it with anything, but a bunch of useless goddamn knowledge. No, I study things that interest me. And I try to find out everything I can, at least to get an understanding of it. I remember the first time I really got into Buddhism, or at least trying to study it. I was in Hawaii, in Waikiki, and instead of the Bible in there, it was a book on Buddhism. So I picked it up and started reading this shit. I was like, oh, I've never seen that before. Yeah, I can rock with that. Yeah. It's all the same shit. Get over yourselves. I don't understand how people think they understand human beings and they can't even accept human beings having a difference. An opinion, thought, belief, color, size, weight. Fucking hell, dude. I live in the Bible Belt. I know the women wanted to pray over me one time because I was reading a Spawn comic. She said the devil was trying to get to me. Yeah. That's exactly what was happening. The devil was there in the Spawn comic, created by a white Canadian boy. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But see, that kind of irrationality was what made me not really rock with the Christians somewhat, because everything was the devil and everything was to be afraid of. And if everything's the devil and to be afraid of, how do you go out and help other people? But you in your walled castle? Fuck out of here. Yeah, brother, maybe go to school of theology and gather the courage to tell him I don't agree and laugh. Yeah, you have to think for yourself a little bit. You can choose what you want to, but you have to think for yourself. That's why I don't believe in indoctrinating necessarily kids with a religion. Kids only are raised in a religion. They are not that religion until they either get baptized themselves or take the oath or whatever they have to do in their religion to become a part of that religion, because that's them making an adult choice. Anytime before that, you are just raised in that faith. You are not that faith. That's not how that shit works. It's not like joining a sports team. I'm a Niners fan because all my family was Niners fans. I was raised a Niners fans. We always went to Niner games. But you know what? I kind of like the Raiders. No, you are what you choose, because that's how religion works. You have to choose it. And you have to choose it knowing what you're choosing and if you believe in it. If you don't believe in it and you ain't chose it, it's not for you. You don't get it on brownie points, motherfucker. You got to put in your work, just like with the street gang. Thank you. Glitching out. Hey, granted, it was a bishop. I bet the hell he wanted you to go into the faith. Yeah, to sneak and respawn and Lucifer, yeah, because you get your ass beat. It was like that in the Christian household I was in. Yeah, I could read Iron Man, but there was some stuff we couldn't read. So when I wasn't in the household, what did you think I was reading? Ghost Rider? Learn you some shit. How you gonna fight something you don't? How are you gonna fight against something you know nothing about? You just gonna get in the ring? It's like, yeah, I'm out here to knock out whoever I see. The fuck is this? That's what you look like. A dumbass waiting to get slaughtered. No intel, no understanding, no research, no nothing. They just out there and I don't pay no attention to them. But I'm a warrior for so-and-so. You ain't no warrior. You a useful idiot. You cannon fodder, you dumb fuck. The warriors know their enemy. They can identify them. The cannon fodder don't know who the fuck they up against. That's why they get mowed down. Stupid ass. Jacoby Howard, Peter the Rock. It wasn't called Peter the Rock. He called Barbas. Anyway, what up, Detroit? What up, Ghost King? He told me to play Diablo 4 because of the gateway to the drug. Yeah. I know a whole bunch of people that's played Diablo 4. You know what I've never seen them do? Drugs. They drug of choice is gaming. Stupid shit. It was shit like that wouldn't let me play D&D because that was supposed to be satanic. Because the game told you to kill yourself, so you had to kill yourself. There was some dumbass fucking kids. The game never tells you to kill yourself. Your character can get killed, but you personally ain't got to kill shit. That's why it's called a role play, not a life play. Dumb fucks. Dumb shit like that didn't have me playing Magic or D&D. I love me some Magic. And D&D, nigga. Fuck you. Sorry for getting from DC Universe. Lucifer Morningstar. No shit. BMT, my favorite joke to use on chicks is like when they be doing some dirty shit, and I said, well, you a whole devil. No, I'm an angel. I said, well, you realize the Lucifer was the first angel, right? You realize that, right? He was an angel. So yeah, you can be dirty as fuck. Don't think you hide. I'm an angel. You ain't no fucking angel. You remember Lucifer was an angel, right? I read that book that y'all say y'all read. I'm just saying. D saying, hold my beer, Ghost King. Told him Lilith got a nice rack though. Yeah, Lilith is a lesbian. Lilith. Paradise Lost, read it. Might wake you up to some things. I like watching me play Skyrim encouraged me to deal with the Daedrix. She too dangerous. I said Lilith in her. I ain't playing Skyrim too, and I made plenty of deals with Daedrix. And I picked the one companion that I want to get strapped to that post and killed so I can get that sword. It's part of the game, man. Part of the game. All the murdering that go on in modern warfare and stuff like that. Ain't nobody jumped up calling that shit satanic. But you got a black movie with a black Jesus of Nazareth and a white boy getting strung up and crucified because he looked like the stereotypical picture of Jesus. And everybody calling that movie. There's satanic messages in that. Oh, it's not. But thanks for hyping up the movie. You just say that to scare people away from watching that shit because it depicts a black Jesus. And, the 13 disciples that he had was all black too. And you know what? Judas was black too. Snake ass nigga. But you upset about that shit. Got you. Whatever the fuck. Everybody should watch that movie. You should. If not, just to piss somebody else off. Because that kind of comment is silly as fuck. I'm still lost underground in the dwarf city Skyrim struggle. That huge dwarven city is awesome. I spent a couple days playing that area, trying to look in every nook and cranny for everything I can find. If you ever played Skyrim and you find that main dwarven city underground, that motherfucker is huge. Beautiful. That's why I love playing that game. That game is beautiful. Beautiful fucking game. I played that area for a few days. I spent the real life days down there. I'm serious. Beautiful. I was exploring every inch of that motherfucker. Because programming wise, art design wise, that was an undertaking. That looked like a whole game in and of itself. And I played it the hell out too. Anyway. So with that, I finished that little spiel. I had 15 more minutes left. So I will give you the personal note, since I saved that to the end instead of doing it first. Thank you to everybody who supported the stream. I was looking for 15 contributors. I did not get them. Which means I have to try to be more, I guess, salacious or something. I don't know. That's the fuck it is. But I will say, spent this weekend, since I'm off this weekend. No, Ray. Skyrim is never ending. No, I have not finished Skyrim. I have not finished it, and I don't want to. I'm not interested in finishing the game. All the reason I haven't played that game is because I fell asleep playing it and my character turned into a full vampire, which I did not want. Did not want him to be a full vampire. It fucks up my ways of going about shit. So that's the only reason I haven't played it in a while. Because there's supposed to be somebody in the game, in the DLC, that you can go to. He will reverse you from a vampire, make you human again, but I haven't found that person yet. So I don't want to keep going through the game with being a vampire. That wasn't what I was trying to do. But I had contracted vampirism and fallen asleep while I was playing. So that's what happened. So I was really liking that character too. So, and that was not the plan I had for that character. So disappointed a little bit. So I was playing some other shit. But be that as it may. Yep. Because I'm playing with the DLC on, Ray. So that Dragon Lord DLC or whatever it was called, or Vampire Lord, I didn't want that shit. It's a castle. It's a vampire castle up in the north that you can get into. So I didn't want that shit. So anyway, I spent this weekend with family, and it's one of the things I'm trying to do better in life, which is spend more time with family, namely my granddaughter and my mother, which is why I'm here visiting my mother, because I don't come up and visit her that often. And we have our times where we're at odds with each other. It's just because we were both strong-minded and stubborn. She raised me, so my thinking is you shouldn't be upset about me being stubborn at all. Par for the course. Appreciate your rainfire. I will give you that 3B salute. Appreciate it. Cheek clapping. So my son and his girl, I think I said this on a artisanmc stream. My son and his girl bought a house. My son is 30 years old. He and his woman have bought their first house for their family. And I didn't even know he was doing that. I thought he was just moving. I did not know he was buying a house. Now, the fact that I did not know he was buying a house means that I was not keeping in touch as much as I should have. Or there's a break somewhere where that was not being told to me. Now, since I will take some responsibility. I will believe it was I was not keeping in touch as much as I should have or asking the right questions. Because my son works like I work. I told you guys that. He works a lot, I work a lot. Our schedules kind of differ. She heard me. Sorry. So responsibility is on me to actually keep more in touch with my son if I want to know things like that. But be that as it may, I've already expressed to you guys I was having a little bit of an issue with not seeing my grandbaby enough. And so I chose to take measures to rectify that, which is I have more free time. I'm not going to be covering people at work as much anymore. I will not. So I am going to spend that time finding out who my little grandbaby is at 5 and at 6 and at 7, and being that person that she remembers in her life, and not just that guy that looks familiar, but she doesn't exactly remember who I am. Now, to her respect, she's young, and we had all of COVID lockdown to get through and all that, where she wasn't seeing grandpappy like that. That bothers me because that was never the goal with my son. It never was. And being that she is my only grandchild and she has so many grandparents surrounding her, she should know who I am without question. So I set up a date and came up there to visit with them in their new house. See their new house, drop off something I made for my brother's, my son's girl, see the kids, and see their new place, and just spend time with them. Now, for me, this marks the departure. This is the first time I've been at the house with them where my son is not there. And I want them to understand that I do see them as family. And he doesn't have to be there for me to be here with you guys. So it was a little weird for me. I don't know if it was weird for them. But no, I wasn't there just to play with baby girl. I wasn't there just to see my son. I was there to just, hey, be around y'all. Who the fuck are you people? In a sense, right? So it was good. It was good to be there in their new place and feel that energy and feel that vibe that it is a family. And it's good for my son. And he loves them and they love him and respect him at that. Because it is a powerful thing to hear after you've been the single father fighting for your rights to actually be respected as a father, to be that fixture in your child's life, even if you're not still with the mother. To hear things in your son's home about, well, you need to ask your father about that. Daddy didn't say you could have that, so no. To see that represented and carried forward is a strong message for me of what's going on in that home. So I appreciated seeing that. That actually warmed my heart to hear that kind of talk about my son in his home with his child. He is working his ass off. They're both working their asses off, and they are getting the fruits of those labors. Because even scared, they did what they needed to do to actually put their children into a better situation so they can raise them better. Which I respect. I respect it immensely. They have a nice, brand new, just finished built, for real, from the ground up, just finished built home to raise their children in. And they're together. And it makes me feel it's almost like wanting to cry inside, but it's out of joy and pride for what this person that came from you is, for who he is, and the people around him that he has around him. It's love there. It is. I believe so. It may have been a time that I wasn't sure early on, but I'm positive of that now, that there is love there. So, well, I gave his girl a gift that I made for myself because she is a reader like I am. She reads a lot, which is good. I dropped the kids off their Christmas gifts because I didn't get to see them for Christmas because I was working. Little brother. I also did what I could for them because I know my son. If I asked him to tell me what he needed, he wouldn't tell me. He would say he was okay. He didn't need anything. I'm like, bullshit. Everybody needs something. You know, physically or mentally, everybody needs something. So, when walking with his girl through the house, there were the two big boxes on the ground. And she's like, oh, that's for our loft area. Some bookshelves we have. He's going to put this together so we can put the bookshelves up and put the pop figures and swords and stuff like that up there. Because my son is a geek. But like I told you guys before, you ruin your kids the way you want them. I wanted geeks. I wanted people that I can fucking relate to. My son and my daughter, I can fucking relate to. Love them to death, like I told you. Favorite people in the world, I'd want to be their friends if they weren't my children. I would, because they're cool peoples. But I told her, I said, I'll put that together for you. She said, oh, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. So I went ahead and put together the bookshelves. And when I started doing the first one, I told her, I said, hey, don't tell him I did this. And she's like, he's not going to believe I did it. I was like, I'm not saying that. I was like, just don't tell him right away. Don't tell him ahead of time. Right. So I went ahead and put together the bookshelves. And it's just some IKEA stuff. It's not like I'm building a skyscraper, which I can do as well. But so it's light work, right? It's light work. It's nothing work. But one of the most satisfying moments I had doing that, outside of understanding that my son will be surprised when he comes home from work and thinking all the stuff he needs to do, more unpacking and stuff like that he needs to do in his home. He's coming home to his family, his house that he owns. And he walks in and something is done that he didn't have to do. It's taken off his list. Yeah, he knew Dad was there. Dad did some stuff while he was there. Those bookshelves are up, Put your toys away. That would make him feel good. He'd probably be happy. I want to do that for my son and his girl. It's something I could do for them, whatever it fucking was. So while I was doing that bookshelf, the first one, a little rainbow came up and wanted to help me, my granddaughter. 5 years old, she wanted to help. And she wanted to hammer. Now, I'm not one to shoo kids away when I'm working. I don't want them to get hurt, but I will not shoo them away when I'm working, even when I'm doing my regular job. And there's kids around and they want to watch and stuff like that. I don't make them go away and not watch. I recognize that that is somebody with an inquisitive mind who wants to understand how things work and they want to learn something. For me, that is something to be cultivated. So I never push them away. I'll tell them what I'm doing. If their parents allow it, I'll let them help me and teach them how to do what I know how to do, because I was that kid at one time that wanted to learn how to do this kind of shit. Even if nobody respected it. Even if it was just, oh, it's just manual labor stuff. It's messy, it's dirty, it's wet. Can you do it? Or will you pay somebody like me who knows how to do it? So when grandbaby was over there, she wanted to help. I said, okay, you can help. That's what I need you to do. Hold the hammer, and I'll put these pins in. Once I line it up, you can hit them. You can drive them home. But you got to tap it, not hit it hard. And she's 5 years old. So, you know, kids' attention span, you got about 5 to 10 minutes for their age, right? Whatever their age is, you double it. You take that or possibly double it depending on the task, and that's how long you got their attention, okay? She's 5. I got about 5 minutes with her. I actually got 10 out of it. It's cool. It was a very good moment that was not captured on any film, any digital media whatsoever, just in my memory, in my mind's eye, of me putting the back of this shelf or this bookshelf together and instructing my granddaughter on how to hammer it, how to hold the hammer, how the hammer works, and letting her pound those pins in to secure that bottle. And my heart melted. Just watching her do it, a little redheaded self was doing it. And she got tired because my son, he has some good tools. He does have some good tools, which I'm impressed about because he didn't ask me about that shit. He has some good tools. I was impressed. Like, damn, this nigga got a good drill, good hammer. I wonder where he got that from. But being there, working on that with her, I understood at that moment two things. Even if she doesn't remember this moment a year from now, the next time she holds a hammer, she will remember me giving her that lesson on how to hold it. Even if she doesn't remember my face, she'll remember that feeling of doing it and how it's supposed to feel. It was grandbaby's shoulder. I will remember that moment for the rest of my life. But it may pay dividends on her for the rest of hers, even if she doesn't remember my face, even if she doesn't remember the words I said. And that meant the world to me, to have that moment with my grandchild, teaching her what I know how to do. It really meant the world to me. And to be in my child's home with his family and see the love there meant the world to me. So I built the shelves and put them up and left the last bit for him to do so he can set up the shelves how he wants to, so he can display his figures, his statues, his swords and stuff like that the way he wants to. But that part was done. And I went ahead, gave everybody their hugs and stuff like that, talked with his girl a little more, and then I left. I went on to my mother's house. And I left satisfied in the knowledge that I made some memories, and I want to keep making some memories with those people. Because a lot of my time and energy is wasted on people who don't value anything that I do. And that gets tiring. That gets tiring as fuck. I understand it's the lot in life of a black male in this culture, but it's tiring as fuck. You know what? Even Hercules at sometimes it's like, nigga, this shit is heavy. This shit is pretty heavy sometimes. So I left there. I had my drive in the dark and came up to my mother's house to spend some time with her and got blessed with a few things that I actually needed and wanted and didn't expect it at all. It's raining here and I didn't wear the vest I wanted to because, you know, they got a little bigger. And sure enough, when I got to my mother's house, I had a brand new vest. So it was meant to be. I was meant to be here. My animal was right in saying, oh, don't take that. What the fuck are you talking about, Selma? No, don't take that. You don't need it. All right, bitch, we're going to see. Sure enough, my animal Selma was right. I didn't need it. There was a brand new vest, the color that I liked, the size for me, right here. And when I leave here today, I'm putting that bitch on. I also have a new throw blanket for my reading chair because just Friday I was sipping my Bacardi and rum, or excuse me, my rum and coke, and sitting in my reading chair, and the blanket that I had was not long enough. It wasn't covering my feet. Love the blanket, bought it at the Grand Canyon, but it's not long enough to cover my feet. And I thought, I need a new throw blanket. When I got to my mother's house, hadn't told nobody about that. It just happened Friday night. My mother had a good brand new throw blanket here for me. I told her, this is going right in my reading chair. You must have picked up the psychic vibes. Now that's 2 for 2. The third one was something that I actually wanted that I hadn't bought yet. And it was a shirt that I actually have on right now. What does it say? That's what I do. I fix stuff and I know things. My mother bought me that shirt from Timo. And I said, it don't matter. That's exactly where I saw it. And I was going to buy that shit. I just hadn't bought it yet. She bought that shirt for me. So despite our differences at times, apparently she fucking knows me a bit. A bit. Saying she 100% because that's shit I never told her and I never probably will. But she knows me a bit. So that's 3 for 3 for this weekend. And you know what? It didn't cost me nothing but gas money. Nothing but gas money. To feel that love. That respect. I'd like to have more of that. So I will. So the point of this personal soliloquy right before I end this is that I am, in some senses, a simple man. I'm complicated in a lot of areas, but my wants and desires are simple, in effect. I believe they're simple. And one of the things I appreciate is authenticity, people being genuinely who they are, respect and honor and love. And that's how I end this to you guys. Thank you for coming through this show, listening to my bullshit, supporting this channel the way you guys have for a number of years. And my payback to you is I will try to do better at this YouTube shit to give you material worth calling content, I guess. So with that, thank you to Studio for supporting the stream. I will give you the guts and butts, and I will get out of here. Let me do that real quick. Appreciate you, Studio. I will say this has been Shop Talk Live. I do this every Sunday from 11 a.m. until it is over. I suggest and request like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell, because I may drop some shit during the week that is profound to you and interesting. If you are interested in contacting me, leave a comment in the comment section, because I read all of those. Good or bad, I will read them. And if I respond to you on live about it, don't get in your feelings. It just meant that that comment needed to be addressed live. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you to everybody who supported the stream. $ artisanmc on Cash App or artisanmc on PayPal. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.